Good morning. My name is John Cartmail, and I'm the person who wrote this program, RemedyNotes. And what I want to do today is just take us through the navigation, the buttons that allow us to do things within RemedyNotes. And what we're looking at the moment is the Remedy screen. And here we've got it in, there are two versions of the screen, one where we can look at an individual record and one where we can look at a list of these records. And you'll notice that here we've got a scroll bar up the side, and if I click in this I can just take us gently up through the records. Or what I can do is I can take hold of this blue button and I can slide it up in order to move more quickly through the list of remedies. And I can go back and I can click to take it down. It's a familiar process. Okay, so we got various buttons here on the screen and I want to just take us through them gently. These here where it says Remedy, it's in blue, so that tells us which screen we're in. We're in the Remedy screen. Here we've got the word Notes, and it looks just like I've written something here, but this is actually a button. And here where it says Category, this too is a button, and Category Group, and Source, and Family Tree. I can click on any of these. If I click on Notes now, we go to the Notes screen. If I click on Family Tree, we go to the Family Tree screen. Nothing showing there at the moment. If I click on Category, we have a look at all the categories that we've got lined up. Okay, so back to the Remedy screen. If I want to, here we've got some more buttons here, and this one with a plus, this is where we add a new record. So if I click on this, then I can add myself a new Remedy record. Well, I'm not actually going to do that because at the moment in this video all I'm looking to do is to demonstrate how these buttons work. So I've demonstrated that we can add a record, and now I'm going to show how to delete one. So here the minus sign tells us we're going to delete a record. So if I click on that and it says, are you sure you want to delete this record? And it's offering us here a choice between deleting the master record or a related record. So I'm just going to cancel this just to make things a little bit clearer. So at the moment we were in a little portal here, and a portal is access to a related record, and I've just popped us into a place where we're no longer sitting in that related record. So I'm now going to click on the delete button, and here we have a much simpler message, but you'll notice that when you delete, it's quite friendly and it says, are you really sure you want to do this? So that we get a second chance if we accidentally click that button. It just makes sure that we really do mean it. So we could always cancel here, but I'm going to delete because I want to get rid of that new record that I created. And there you are, it's gone. Fine. And now you'll find that we're sitting not in the list screen, but in the screen that shows the individual record. This is called the form screen. And here you'll see there's a button that will take us back to list. So I'm going to click that one now. And now we're in the list. And now you'll see this button has changed itself, and now it's called form. So if I click on the form, it takes us back to where we can just see one record at a time. Okay, so now we've got the question mark button here, and this takes us to a help file, and that's really helpful. If we get lost, then there's a place you can go and you can actually look up to remind yourself how this thing works. And we've got information here. There's an overview and there's information about the various different screens that we're going to be interested in. So I'm going to take us back again to the Remedy screen. And now we've got a button here that will allow us to do a find. So if I click on this, it now takes us to the form screen, and we can do any sort of find that we're interested in. And it takes us first of all into the name, because that's the most likely thing that we're going to be wanting to look up. So here I might well be interested in looking for phosphorus, so I'll just type in PHOS, and it takes us to somewhere on this list, and this is a list of all the existing remedies that we've got. And if it is just phos that I'm interested in, then I can click on that, and then I can click the find button again, and it goes off and it finds us that record. And interestingly, it takes us into the list presentation. But that's fine. I can get myself back into the form if I want to by clicking on form, or if I want to, I can click on this button here, which, as it kind of says here, is going to show this record in form mode. So we click that and we find ourselves on the form screen. Okay, so if I take us back to list, we've got one more button here, and this is a sort of a way of getting out of find. If I have clicked myself into find mode and then I realized, oh, I didn't want to do that, that was a mistake, then I can take myself back into browse mode just by clicking that button. Okay, so we're almost through with the buttons that we've got here at the top. We've got an indication here that we've got just the one record out of, my goodness, the 5,742 remedy records that we've got. If I want to look at all the records that I've got, I can just click on that number, and what it'll do is quite a large number of records there. It's going to sort them for us, and here we are looking at all of those records that we've got. Now here it tells us that we're on record 4,116 out of all of these 5,742. Okay, so it's quite a few. Now we've got a B here, and this is part of the navigation process that allows us to go backwards, so B for back, and go back to the last screen that I was on. So let's click that one, and that takes us to, oh yeah, we were looking at the form before. And now you'll notice that we've got a B, which means that I could go back beyond this. So we could do that if we wanted to. But we've also got an F, and the F is for forwards. And what that does is it allows us to go to the one that we have just come from by doing a backward step. So if we just click that, we go, oh, okay, yeah, we did a backward step from the list to the form, so then a forward step would take us to the list that we were on before we did a backward step. So we've got a way of retracing our steps through the various screens that we've been looking at. Okay, hope that makes some sense. Now here we've got 5,742 records, and we're on record 4,116. So here there's a button that will take us to record number 1, and we've got a button here that will take us to record number 5,742. Lovely, good. And then we've got a button here that will take us back 1 record, so 5,741, and then we've got another button here that will take us forward 1 record, 5,742. Good. Now what we've got here is a button that is really only makes sense if we've done a find. So I'm just going to do a quick find here. And here, you remember before I typed in PHOS and I got through into the part of this listing that it has the phosphoric remedies. What I can do if I want to is get rid of this drop down table, and I can write in PHOS, and now what the remedy notes will do is it'll find all the remedies with PHOS in the name. Okay, so let's just see what that's like. We click on find, and you see here is picking up a whole lot of these phosphoric remedies. Okay, so that's quite a useful extra thing that we can do here. And what it says is that it's found 63 out of 5,742. Okay, this little button here will allow us to look at everything that it hasn't found. Okay, so if I just click on this now, and here what we've got, it says, okay, so those ones that we haven't found, we got 5,679 of them. And then if we click this button again, it'll take us back to the ones that it had found. Okay, so again, there's just a little bit of room for maneuver there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop this video now, and then we'll kind of take up the story again in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.